I just built this crazy AI agent which can actually print $300,000 from your old leads. In this video, you're going to see exactly how I built it. You're going to see how it sounds and speaks like a real human, and how we made it book appointments into your calendar and actually help you close leads. My name is Liam. I've worked hands-on with 6, 7, and even 8-figure companies to build and deploy these custom AI agents. If you're curious to see what AI could do for your business, I've actually opened up 3 spots for a free AI consultation call. There is a link down below, you can book that, it's first come first serve, so I hope to see you in there, and now let's dive into the live demo. Alright, so let's say your company runs adverts, and as part of these ads you have lead forms. Now people usually submit these, but on the next page you might also have a calendar page to book a call with your sales team. Now quite frequently people will submit this, but they won't bother to book a call, and then it's your job to follow up with all of these leads and call them and see if we can set up an appointment. Now, instead of you doing this, we can actually get an AI to do this for you. So the way this works is once we submit the form, we get added down here, as you can see, to this table. And as you can see also, we haven't booked a call yet. Now, over here in N8N, what I'm going to do is manually trigger this workflow so I can show you. And first what happens is it'll see that somebody new came in. It's going to wait a few seconds to see if we end up booking a call or not. And usually we'll do about 1 or 2 minutes of wait time. Today I'm just going to do 10 seconds to not make it too long for you. But once this wait is up, we're actually going to get a phone call on my phone right here.
Hey, Liam Parker. This is Kate from Vaunt. Do you have a second?
Yeah. What's up?
I see you were interested in an AI audit because you don't know where to start with AI. Is that still something you'd like to explore?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, for sure.
Great. Let's schedule the appointment now. What state are you in right now?
I'm in California.
Do you have a preferred date and time for a quick 15-minute call?
Would today still work for you?
Let me check what time frame works best for you today.
Doesn't matter, anytime.
How about October 11th or October 17th? Any preference?
Yes, October 11th would work as well for me, that's fine.
Great. Are you happy with October 11th at 9 a.m. to have the call?
Sure, that works for me.
Perfect. I'll make the final booking now. All right, Liam, thanks so much. You'll receive a confirmation email shortly.
Wow, awesome. Thank you very much. Look forward to speaking with you guys.
Thank you, Liam. Your appointment is set for October 11th at 9 a.m. Have a great day.
Awesome. All right, so how cool was that? We had an AI, first of all, realize, look, this guy hasn't booked a call with us yet. Let me give him a call. Then it could actually greet me by my name, right? It said, hey, Liam Parker. It said, I see that you're interested in an AI audit. And then it actually checked availability in this calendar that I made. As you saw today, there was already somebody who'd booked. But on the 11th and the 17th, there were still some free times. So it offered them to me. As I said, 11th, it confirmed with me. And then it actually used the details that I had submitted over here in Airtable, right? It already had my email. And it used that to also send me a confirmation email, as you can see here. Plus, it also changed my status to booked, and it also changed the appointment date to the date that I wanted to book at. That is pretty cool. Alright, so if you thought that sounded interesting, then you're welcome to book a call down below. I'm happy to walk you through exactly how much money this would save for your specific company. But now in this case, I'm going to show you how much money this saves a company in our scenario. And first of all, I'm going to start with a quick breakdown of how the AI works. In the second half of the video, I'll get more technical and walk you through, the prompts, all the configurations, the workflows and all that. But let's keep it really nice and easy for now. Let's say you get about 40 to 80 leads a day. Make sure, by the way, on your lead form to have a little checkbox that says, I agree to be contacted by an AI to confirm my appointment, or something similar. Because otherwise it's spam calling and that's just legally not allowed. That tip alone, make sure you remember that one. Then it's going to wait for a few seconds. If the appointment is booked, nothing happens. But if the appointment wasn't booked yet, it's going to trigger the agent. Now then what we're going to do is we're going to inject the form submission into the prompt. So we're actually going to take the name, the email, the phone number, the interest, what the customer filled out, and we're going to inject it into the prompt of the agent. And I'm going to show you how that works later using something we call dynamic variables. You can see that here. These basically get replaced, but I'll get into that later. When the call starts, either they answer or they don't. If they don't answer, we can also build systems to call them a day or two later. Then it's going to have a script, something like, hey, name, this is Kate from your company. Do you have a second? In case they ask, are you an AI? Because as you heard, it sounds pretty real, right? People don't know. But if they ask, at my company, for example, I like to say something like, yes, I am an AI at, Vant AI. We practice what we preach. I just saw you fill out our form, but haven't booked a call yet. Can I ask you why? Right? When they say, yeah, I want to book a call, then it can book a call. In this case, we were going to check in a few different time zones. You can also add calendars. In our case, it was just a very simple calendar, right? It was just an Airtable calendar over here, because I can't show real company data, but where were we? Here we go. You can add this to round robin calendars. You can add it to single calendars, different time zones, even have different languages if you want to. And the goal, of course, is to book a calendar, an appointment into the calendar, also using the form submissions email, right? We have all the info. It's super smooth. We don't need to ask them to spell their email or give me their name. Everything is already in the system. Now, that's the way it works, in effect, right? The coolest things here are, of course, that it can do real things. It can change things in your system. It can make appointments. It can check. It knows the customer by name. But in terms of the actual ROI, there's two parts. First of all, the human labor savings, and then also the money that you make off of not losing these leads. So the human labor savings, I actually have an AI call calculator, and this basically depends on how many calls are we doing per day. So let's assume of these, 40 to 80 calls, let's say they get 60 leads on average per day. Let's say half of them don't actually book the appointment. That means of the 60 leads, we would have to call the other 30, which didn't book a call. Now, over here, we basically work out how much would you pay a human to do this. Let's say a human, you pay them, $2,500 a month to call all of these leads. The average call duration might be 2 minutes, like in our example. The AI price per minute, this depends on the softwares that you use. This isn't what you'd pay me. This is what you'd pay the actual AI to run. For example, on Vappy here, you can see that this one is only 10 cents per minute, right? Extremely cheap. I like to work with around 12 cents per minute on average. And then, as you can see over here, there's a big discrepancy between without AI, you'd be paying a human $2,500 a month to call them, and AI only needs $200 a month. And as you can see, the monthly savings are quite large, and they start to stack up over 12 months. You're saving close to $30,000 just in human labor savings. And as you can see, it's also not a downgrade, right? AI can call them at 2 o'clock in the morning. It can call them in different languages. It can call them instantly as well. The speed to lead is great. And yeah, you're basically upgrading and getting paid $30,000 to upgrade. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. So let's say, and especially for these high-ticket sales, this is interesting. Let's say you sell something in the realms of $2,500. If you get 60 leads per day, which means 30 bookings a day average without AI, we want to increase really conservatively. Let's say the AI is only able to book 10% more appointments, 3 more appointments per day. Right? So this will be a pretty bad result, honestly, in my experience. But let's say this only increased it by 3 bookings a day. 3 extra bookings a day is 90 bookings a month. Let's say you have a ticket of 2,500 times 90 a month, right? But only at a 10% close rate, for example, which is also not great. Let's say it's a 10% close rate only, then you would be making $22,500 a month increase a month on top of the labor savings. So overall, you're saving 2.5 or 2.2 thousand a month in labor, and you're getting paid 22,000 a month in extra sales. That means over the course of 1 year, you are netting close to $300,000. Now, if we look at the AI development cost here, AI usage cost is, as you saw, $200-300 a month. AI development cost might be $8,000 right? This is a one-time development that you would, for example, pay me if you were to work with me. And as you can see, the ROI on something like this is 37 times. It is phenomenal. And you can always just up the ad spend, right? If you double your ad spend, this is also double the ROI. Pretty cool. And just people always ask me, how long does it take to develop this? I think a very conservative timeline is around 60 days. For something like this, you could probably get it done in 2 or 3 weeks, but until it's really robust and solid, it takes around 60 days to develop. That is pretty damn cool, I'm not going to lie. And this is why I love AI. Yeah, if those numbers sound cool and you want to figure out how much this would save your company, a call link is in the description, of course. Now, let's get into the second half of this video, which is more technical. So how does this actually work? So in here, just in my case, and by the way, I'm going to export these workflows for you to download for free as well. I'll put the links in the description. Basically what we do here, when this triggers, we're going to search for all records which have call booked status, which is here, of the call booked status not booked, right? All the records that have that not booked, they're going to be sent through. Then we have a wait here, which is 10 seconds, but we'd probably increase this more to maybe 90 seconds. Or is it? Go 90. There we go, 90. 90 seconds, and then we would basically place an API call. Now, I can't click on this because it's going to show you some API keys that I cannot show right now, but basically what this does is it tells Vappy, please call the number that we sent through from Airtable, right? And then please call it and also inject into the prompt. Where is it? Here, inject into the prompt the name, the email, and the reason for calling, right? So the way this would look, I'm going to try and do as best as possible to hide the things that you're not allowed to see, but all of this is fine. Basically, you have a phone number ID and an assistant ID, which is just sent over from the software that we used, which is Vappy, to actually make the calls. And then you see these things in gray. Those are the variables that get sent across from places like Airtable, right? And let me quickly execute this again so that you see what it would look like in here. So if we quickly crank this down to 1 second and we execute this, we put that back in here, you can see that now, there we go. These things are green, and those are variables that we pull over from Airtable. So as you can see in Airtable, we have these little fields where it says name, and you can drag and drop that name across, right? Or interest, or call booked, email, and so on. And as you can see, those variables get put into here, and then they basically equate to whatever we put into the form. Now, all of this code, what this means is it's telling Vappy, which is the software that we use to build the AI, use this assistant with this ID to actually call this phone number here of the customer. And then it's going to call it. And in here, we're going to go into the prompt now. The prompt is what's cool. So we've basically told it, role, you are a lead reactivation agent. You work at Vant AI. Your goal is to book a 30-minute call. The current time is this. And as you can see here, you will recognize these fields, name, email, and interest. Everything that is in these curly brackets gets replaced at the start of the call. What that means is instead of the AI answering, and also you can see the welcome message here, what it says, right? Hey, name, this is Kate from Vant. Do you have a second? This gets replaced with Liam Parker. And as soon as the call starts, that's what it's going to say. So it's actually inbuilt, hard-coded into the prompt, but only for that specific call. So if you have 2 or 3 calls running in parallel, which this can also do, they're going to have different names and different things that it speaks. Cool. We've given it a step-by-step. Basically, welcome script, this is what you should say. You should ask for time. Use a tool to check for availability. The tools are also what's cool. We have 2 tools here, check availability and book. Basically, we tell the AI, use this tool to check for availability and extract from the conversation the requested date in this case. So we've told it, please extract the requested date in this format and then send it to this server. And this server is basically the second part of the workflows down here. This will receive Let's see, let's go to executions once, and I'll show you some more accurate data. There we go. If we copy this, basically what it sends across is, in here, we have check availability, our function, and the requested date was the 10th. That's what I asked in the conversation, right? Then this thing decides which tool is the AI using. Is it the check availability tool or the book tool? If it's the check availability tool, we search the records in here, and we basically retrieve all of the availability, right? And when we aggregate that into the dates that have already been booked. And then I've written a little piece of code in here, which I've basically said, all this code does is check if the requested date, right, if the 10th is already included in these appointments that have already been booked. If it isn't, just say it's free, but if it is, please search for 2 other available ones in the future that haven't been booked yet. You know, and that's how it also suggests, that's how it makes these suggestions, right? It sends back the result here in green, where it basically says, that date is booked, how about the 11th or the 17th? Right, pretty cool. And then the other one is pretty much the same thing, right? If we go back to the prompt, we then tell the AI, and it's little tricks that you learn over time as well, right? You're going to learn things like confirm the date and time back to the customer, work with the customer to find a time that fits. It's all these little cues for the AI to know how it's supposed to interact and respond. And also little things like repeating it back before using the tool book call, right? And the book call tool is, once again, this one over here. Extract the chosen date, in this case, send it across, and that would look something like, let's see, there we go. That would look something like this. As you can see, in this case, we sent more data across. This time it used the book tool. Then what we do is we use the phone of the customer to search Airtable, and then that, based on the phone number, we can find the row. Then we told it to please update this to booked and insert the appointment date into here. Right, so we insert the appointment date, which is the 11th. Great. Then we send an email. In this case, we sent it to whatever email they had submitted in the form, which we get from Airtable. And then we have a message saying, hey, Liam Parker, thanks for booking a call with us on the 11th. We look forward to speaking with you. All the best. You know. And these workflows aren't really the interesting thing. It's just cool to see that AI like this can actually take a conversation outside of a little chat window or a phone call and can actually take actions in the real world. And it really had to decide, right? When do I check? When do I present alternative options? When can I book? And that's why prompting is so... It might seem easy to get something to sound decently good, but to actually get it robust takes 60 days, you know? It takes quite a long time. Yeah, so I hope you learned something new in this video. It's definitely a really good use case for AI. Anyone running adverts and wants to recover old leads can only recommend. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments or use the link to book a call.